welcome everybody. My name's Marilee Burnett and I am your tarot reader, back with the messages for the week of April 1st. So happy April Fool's Day. And let me just tell you that it will be an intense week ahead. We are in the energy of the eclipse as well as Mercury retrograde. This is just going to be a week where you need to slow down and really pay attention to what's showing up for you. This is not a Mercury retrograde where you're going to want to rush. This is a Mercury retrograde and eclipse that are heavily influenced by the energy of Chiron. Chiron is a master of healing, but also one who suffered a lot of pain. So we have the opportunity to see both. We need to see our pain points in order to heal them. And the eclipse is going to help us eclipse out whatever is causing us pain. So there's so much going on, and I'm sure the cards will reflect it. If you want more information about the eclipse, check out my article. I have one for the eclipse itself, new moon solar eclipse in Aries. This is a total eclipse. It is visible here in the States and especially across the Midwest as it heads east. I think it's around 11 a.m. in our Mountain Standard Time zone. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend going outside and trying to view it. Depends on your chart. Do what you're guided to do. But we will move through all of the signs today. And then if you read the articles, you'll see that there's a breakdown by sign and where this can potentially be affecting you. But if you want to know for sure, I do still have some session slots open this week. Schedule a reading with me. I do have an eclipse special where we will focus in specifically on that energy. Okay? Thanks again for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, please remember to subscribe. That way you'll get notified each time I upload a new video, which I do usually Saturday or Sunday of the weekend prior. And then if you go out to my website and subscribe there as well, you'll join my mailing list, and I only send things out to you to advise you about the upcoming articles and the major events. And invite a friend. All right, with that, we'll get started with the sign of Aries, which you'll want to watch if it is your sun, moon, or rising sign. So let's see what the messages are for you, Aries. So the messages for this week are all about the Mercury retrograde and, of course, the other activities that will happen this week. You can tune in to listen to my video later with the astro lesson of the week specifically. But for now, let's get started with what our actual tarot messages will be. And so this is for you, Aries, sun, moon, and rising, and you have the Four of Water, also known as the Four of Cups. This is a cautionary tale for you this week, Aries. Of course, you've got an eclipse happening in your sign, and those who have your sun, moon, or rising at 19 degrees or close to that are going to have a very noticeable effect on your life. So you want to be prepared, and this energy can be a bit melancholy for you this week. So you want to make sure that you're not stuck in regret, because otherwise this week will be very long for you. Instead, recognize the opportunity to heal and move forward. Create a new, strong, emotional foundation for yourself as you look to create the future that you want. Remember, an eclipse in your first house, that's about the self. That is eclipsing out of you the things that no longer serve you so that you can move forward whole and complete. So it's a very intense week for you specifically, Aries. So hang in there. And if you need any kind of help, I have all kinds of things you can tune into as far as self-hypnosis goes on my channel to help you cope with the stressful energy. All right, let's take a look at Taurus. All right, Taurus, you have the Page of Air. And that means that there is new information coming your way today. The information can actually be brought to you by somebody. The pages were the messengers between the kingdoms, and they travel around and give information to one another. Sometimes this can indicate a youthful person, maybe somebody younger, who has a conversation with you, which is really important. Now, with the energy of that Mercury retrograde, that could suggest that this is somebody from your past that you are reconnecting with, and this conversation may invite you to want to start something new, but I caution you on that. This Aries new moon isn't one where you want to start something because it involves a very heavy eclipse. It is something, though, where you want to be re-looking at things, right? Go back over something that you started in the past and figure out how you can refine it, and spend the next 3 weeks refining it before you consider trying to move anything forward. I would wait until Mercury finishes its retrograde, and I would potentially wait all the way until you have that new moon in your sign on the 7th of May. But it is the energy of the one, so there is the opportunity for something new to begin, but that new beginning should have everything to do with your past. For you, this happens in your 12th house, this eclipse. So this is very heavy on subconscious blocks that you need to release and remove in order to honor yourself and move forward. Up next, we have Gemini. Oh, what a beautiful card, Gemini. You have the Two of Water, also known as the Two of Cups. This is one of our soulmate cards. It's about relating to another person on an emotional level. And of course, that's often a soulmate. Now, this can be a close friend. It doesn't have to be a lover, but there is potential for that. There's the potential that the eclipse can remove some kind of a barrier that is keeping you from being able to be emotionally close to someone else. The twos are always about balance. And when you have an eclipse happening in your 11th house, this is removing blocks to friendships, blocks to finding your tribes. It can move friends away from you. It can move you away from a friendship that isn't healthy for you or meant for you anymore, or it served its purpose. And as we work with eclipse energy, we need to know and understand that it's fated, and it's not something that you can try to hang on to when it is being eclipsed out. We need to be willing to let it go. So be aware of that, but know that you have the potential this week to reconnect with somebody from your past. Maybe there is a relationship where there's things that are currently still undone, not resolved, and that is work that you can complete together and possibly reunite. But remember, it's Mercury retrograde, so spend 3 weeks enjoying it, but unless it's meant for you, this person, this relationship, it won't continue past the Mercury retrograde time frame. So enjoy what is being presented and definitely keep me posted. Up next, we have Cancers. I love this card. No matter what deck I see this card in, I always am inspired by the Fool card, because that means this is a whole new beginning that is appearing for you, Cancer. So this is the first card, of course, in the tarot deck, and the Fool is just taking off on the quest. No destination necessarily in mind, just knowing that there's something more and it is time to go out and explore. So you are fully taking a leap of faith this week, and maybe it's a leap of faith based on something that's happened in the past, right? That Mercury retrograde for you has you wanting to go back and explore. Now, you're in the middle of some somewhat tense energy for any rising sign, sun sign, moon sign, Cancers, especially at the middle degrees, because you're having this T-square energy with the eclipse as well as the nodes. And those T-squares are happening in, your home and your work sector. So this first house of self, and I need to make changes at home, and I may need to make changes in my career because I am not fully being myself and who I'm intended to be. So there's some pretty important work that may see some of you Cancers make a huge change in your life. So you've got the next 3 weeks to really think about and redefine who you are and how you show yourself to the world, how you interact with your home, with your family. This is masculine energy in the 10th house, feminine energy in the 4th house. So there's quite a bit of pressure for you, but the good news is this reset, this zero energy is whatever you want to make out of it. So it can be very, very hopeful and promising, Cancers. So definitely keep me posted again on how this turns out for you. Up next, we have Leo. So Leos, you are being blessed by the Wheel of Fortune this week, which is number 10 in the major arcana, which is about moving forward on your path. And so that means that this Mercury retrograde may have you working again with somebody from your past, or this is something that's based on a past relationship. It could be based on somebody that you knew in the past, or something that you were a part of in your past that's coming back up. But the wheel moves you forward. So it's not about going back to stay stuck, but it might be about going backwards in order to understand and reflect on something in the past so that you can move forward. Of course, that number 10 reduces to the number 1. So you too are another sign where you have a new beginning, a new opportunity, but you do not want to jump into it. You want to take the next 3 weeks with the Mercury retrograde and slowly uncover what it is that you need to see. Now, of course, the eclipse and Mercury retrograde happen in another fire sign. So this is energy that is supportive for you. That doesn't mean it's still okay to run and jump and start something new. You still have to take your time launching whatever this will be for you. So this happens for you in your 9th house. This is foreign people, foreign places. They may play a role in whatever new opportunity is going to show up for you. So it's a big blessing this week. Just take it slow. Up next, we have Virgo. These cards this week are really supportive, which says to me that I have a wonderful audience who's been doing the work, and this retrograde is really going to help move you through it in a positive way. So Virgos, this is dream come true kind of energy for you. It's the Star card, another major arcana card, which is about your wishes and dreams being fulfilled. So that's an amazing week. And of course, with that Mercury energy that is retrograde, this could be again based on efforts that you've had in the past, people you know from the past, and just all the good work that you've done in the past that is now being rewarded. So for most of you, this Aries energy is going to fall in your 8th house. And the 8th house is where we have rebirth, we have transformation. It is money that comes to us from other resources. It can be our intimate relationships and partnerships as well. There's a lot of energy that helps you be reborn and redefine yourself. So Is it finances that help you do that? Is it another person that helps you do that? It's just going to really depend on what your wishes and dreams are all about. Now that 17 reduces to the number 8. 8 is about strength. It is about power. It is the year that we are in, 2024. And we're learning that there is a lot of power and people choose different ways to use their power. But you Virgos are healers. And so there may be something about your healing work that is rewarded this week as well. So very excited, Virgos. Let me know how that goes. Next we have Libra. So Libras, this is a bit of a challenging week for you, which not a complete surprise. You just have had a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign. You will be directly opposing the eclipse in the sign of Aries, which makes this in your 7th house of serious relationships. And the 5 of air, also known as the 5 of swords, is needing to be careful and cautious, right? Here's this ballerina who is making her way across the high wire, and she basically thinks she's invincible. But all it takes is one little bird landing on here to upset things. And this is a time where you need to be aware of those who are around you that may be trying to deceive you. This also can be you deceiving yourself and picking and choosing battles that there really is no winner. Even if you win, you will not come out on top of whatever the struggle is this week. So Mercury retrograde is asking you to slow down and consider whether the argument is really worth it or not, whether the battle is worth it or not. And the chances are it's not. So the energy of the 5, though, does invite change. So if you're struggling in a relationship, approach it from a new perspective. And that may be all it takes for you to then be able to move things forward. So over the next 3 weeks with Mercury retrograde here, experiment with how you communicate with your significant other and see if maybe you can begin to move things forward. But if you are questioning whether you're with the right significant other, this week you may find the answer and it may not be exactly what you were hoping for. Scorpio. Well, Scorpios, there is something that you have been working on for some time now, and now you are complete. You are finishing your goal, your task. The World card is what that Fool, Cancer, that got that card this week. This is where you end up after you meet all the people, learn all the lessons, have judgment, right? This is the number 21, which reduces to the number 3, connecting to our Creator. And so there is something really big, monumental, and important that you're able to complete this week. And as this is happening with Mercury retrograde, this is something you've been working on for some time. It is something that you can go back and revisit. And what you uncover as you go back is what helps you achieve the goal. You know, we're talking about this for this week, but I think this is something that will stick with you through the next several weeks, that you have this help of Mercury retrograde. So again, go ahead and slow down. As you slow down, it's going to be what helps you achieve this amazing goal that you have for yourself. And it can be really, obviously, a beautiful week where you feel complete yourself, right? Something has come full circle for you, and it is rather amazing. And it could very well have to do with work or health, day-to-day activities, something where you're being of service to other people, because this eclipse for you is going to happen in your 6th house. So keep me posted on this. I know that it's going to be a beautiful week, and I can't wait to hear how it goes, Scorpio. Up next, we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you have the messenger of fire, which is typically the Knight of Wands. So there is somebody that you are interacting with this week that basically charges in and presents you with something that inspires you and fires you up and encourages you to move forward. You being a fellow fire sign Sagittarius, you will be very comfortable with this. You're of course a fire sign like Aries as well. So that eclipse and this Mercury retrograde happen in what we call a trine, which is energy that is very beneficial. But of course, anything that we have available to us, we have to show up and we have to join with the energy in order to take advantage of it. So you can have a block removed in your 5th house, which can be beneficial to you. Whatever it is, it's fated. So 5th house is romance. It's your hobbies. It's things that you're passionate about. It's things that speak to the heart. It's children. And so I'm going to remind you of all these things, that if something is removed as far as a barrier, you may have children that you weren't planning on, or at least you didn't think you were, but the universe and you created this contract a while ago. And so, yes, you are. Same thing with, blocks to romance. But whatever comes up this week, it's truly inspiring to you. So as you think about that, and maybe you're just trying to relight your fire as well, go back to what it is when things were simpler and you had the time, and what did you do? What was it that you enjoyed? And maybe bring that back to life now. And of course, all the court cards are the number 1. So you too have this opportunity for a new beginning this week based on the past, but don't rush into this. Take your time and really fully understand and explore it before you let this fire take off. Up next, Capricorns. All right, Capricorns, you have some heavy lifting to do this week with the 9 of fire, also known as the 9 of wands, which is it's a heavy burden. There is a lot that's going to keep you super busy this week. And since Mercury is slowing down and going retrograde as we kick the week off, chances are this is a project that you thought was complete and it's coming back on your plate. And there is a lot of rework that has to be done, and it is going to feel very frustrating. But don't give up. Definitely continue to push through. This is the number 9, and 9 does bring endings and closure, but you're going to have to really slow down. No, you're not a fast sign anyway. You're Earth sign. You're very slow. You're very grounded, very meticulous. But I think that's what's going to annoy you the most, is that you have to go back over details where you are certain you did it right the first time. Now, it could be that there's been too many things going on at home, and that's where the frustration comes to play, whether you're working on the home, a remodel, trying to sell, or there's just family things that are going on. That eclipse happens for you in your 4th house. So there is something about that frustration at home that will be removed in order for this new opportunity to show up for you. It could be things involving real estate. So remember, the eclipse moves out of the way whatever is blocking us from being on our path. And if we happen to be the one blocking ourselves from getting on our path, then we will get a very harsh adjustment. But eclipses work indirectly many times, and it can be something else or someone else that is removed in order for us to no longer be distracted and be able to get on our path as well. So notice things around you this week, especially at home. Don't rush through any home projects. Be aware of fires in the home. Those types of things will help you create the future that you want. But again, don't give up. Keep pushing through whatever it is that's showing up for you. Aquarius. All right. Aquarius, you have a major arcana card, number 5, the Hierophant, for your messages this week, which is all about dealing with tradition, dealing with authorities. This is very often associated with religion. Sometimes we see this card when we're working on marriage, but there is something about a higher power than just yourself that is creating change. Now, with this happening in your third house, which happens to be a house that Mercury rules over, this could have something to do with your formal education. This could have something to do with whatever it is that you're learning. But somehow these authority figures this week are creating changes that might feel very frustrating for you. And so you want to remember to slow down, bite your tongue. Don't bite anybody's head off. Try to see the bigger picture. I like how this picture makes me feel like I'm rising above whatever the situation is that's presenting itself to you, so that you don't get caught or stuck in whatever it is. Now, that 5 energy, right, is about creating change that benefits you. So that's the message of the Mercury retrograde, is something from the past. Maybe somebody from your community, right? Third house, a sibling, some other relative has some kind of a change that they're going through that could influence you as well. So again, remember, eclipses take things out of our way. They can block our ability to have good communication with others. They can, again, remove somebody who is a part of our community that is causing us a lot of mental stress as well. So this could be a very interesting week for you, Aquarius. I definitely want to hear how this goes. Last but not least, we have you, Pisces. Pisces, you have the 9 of Earth, also known as the 9 of Pentacles. So this for you is a great week financially. You are strong, you are independent, you are financially secure. So that's amazing. Now, there may be something or someone from your past that is helping you establish this financial security. Whatever is being offered to you this week, just remember to take it slow. Go over all the details very carefully, especially a new job offer, because this does happen in your second house. So whatever is being presented to you, you got to make sure that it is all that you think it is going to be. And that means really, really poring over the details and the information on the offer, for instance. But this is a very positive card. So I do expect that whatever is being offered or presented to you this week, it is the end of financial struggle for you in some way. And as a result, you end up feeling really great about yourself. So very, very happy, very strong, very much on your own. So this is a personal achievement for you this week. And you want to make sure as this week progresses, because this does happen for you in your second house, that you're valuing yourself, you're feeling worthy, because the offer that comes across the table to you, it's going to match whatever your energy is, wherever it is. So if you're feeling humdrum, then the offer they make to you is also going to be like that. So really lift your spirits and your energy up. Connect to that earth energy, get yourself really grounded. I know it's hard, you're very sensitive, very emotional, but make sure you're grounded this week and that you're putting out what you want in a positive way. So that's what ends up coming back to you. Now, of course, an eclipse in your second house will help remove blocks to your money-making opportunities. So join with that. Get rid of any thoughts and thinking that are keeping you stuck and in a place of lack instead of a place of abundance. All right. The card energy this week is so interesting. The majority of the cards are really positive, very strong. So I am very encouraged to see how this turns out for everybody. Now, just remember, you can come work with me. I do still have special offers out there. You can book a session with me. And if you just need some help getting through the week, again, I have all kinds of resources out there on my website, on my YouTube channel. So please enjoy those and give me feedback on anything else that I could do to help you in your journey in the week ahead. Be sure to tune in. The next message will be all about the new moon solar eclipse, which happens on Monday. So I'll have a video out probably earlier in the week than normal to give everybody a little more time to prepare. But the houses, unless you know your chart specifically, where the eclipse happens is very much what we just talked about for Mercury retrograde. This area of your chart is getting a super workout. So show up, do the work. You are stronger than you realize. And when this work is done, you can be a whole new person. All right, guys, we will talk again soon. Have an amazing week and do keep me posted. And I hope you have an amazing week ahead. Go check out the Astro lesson also on my YouTube channel to see the full week broken down day by day. Take care.